Hello, and welcome back to Hands On. This is episode 2, and today we are joined by Mr. Jason Scholten of the new Welding program. Welcome to the show, Mr. Scholten.
Thanks for having me, Caleb.
All right, so what exactly do you guys do in your class?
So we teach the fundamentals of welding. Welding is melting two pieces of metal together. So most everything in the world is built by the end of a welding rod, and so we're trying to teach them how to adapt those techniques to find a career in the field of welding.
So how does this program differ from the traditional metals program that we have here?
So metal's main focus is on machining and forming metal by the use of mechanical means. Welding is usually joining metals at the molecular level.
So that's pretty interesting. How exactly does it work?
So welding, in its simplest term, is melting. It's manipulating a molten puddle of metal. So we're bringing the metal to its melting point and fusing it together with another piece.
So that's pretty interesting. So when the two metal pieces melt into each other, they combine?
They combine to one. Yeah, it's a one homogeneous weld. Yep.
So homogeneous just means what?
They become one.
All right. So what kind of field do students usually get into when they take want to get into when they take the program?
There's lots of different fields they can get into. Construction, manufacturing, production industry. Most manufacturing and production have a welder on site that does all the maintenance and mechanical repair, but most of it's construction.
Have you had any experience in the construction field?
I do. I've done nothing but welding for 25 years.
Well, that's pretty interesting. And I heard you mention before that you were a pilot at one point?
I am as well, and I do a lot of aviation welding on the side.
So does that basically just mean you're doing welding
on aircraft?
That's pretty interesting. What other kind of stuff might people do welding for?
Oh, there's anything that's made of metal. It has to be joined in some way. So if it's a mechanical way, they're using rivets, bolts, etc. But most metal is joined nowadays using welding. So think of anything, the chairs that we're sitting on were welded.
Well, that's pretty interesting to think about. And then a lot of work goes into this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it does. It's there's a lot of work. It's hard work. It's hot work. But at the end of the day, you can be satisfied with you created something out of a raw material. That's what I really enjoy.
What kind of safety stuff do you guys have to do in this class? Because you work with a lot of powered tools and a lot of heat. So what kind of safety precautions do you guys have to take?
Yeah, so safety is a big part of welding, whether it be in the classroom or on the job site. Safety, a lot of it revolves around hot work. Anything when you're using welding, we consider it called hot work. So flammables, you got to make sure that you are aware of your surroundings so that you're not burning anything. And then again, you're working with hot materials. So we're wearing full welding coats, gloves, safety glasses to keep the hot sparks and metal from getting into your eyes. So safety is a major part of welding, something we take pretty seriously.
So do you guys do like OSHA?
Yes. Yep. We'll do OSHA 10 here in a couple of weeks. All the students will have that. It's a prerequisite for most any job site or any job in the field. So whether they get it here or they have to get it on their own, it's usually a requirement for most of the employers.
So are there any other kind of, programs that you guys do other than OSHA?
We do the AWS, which is American Welding Society. That's our governing body. So we work towards their getting their certification for AWS, and we'll do Lincoln Electric's welding curriculum. We also work with Maine Oxy for their oxy fuel and thermal cutting certification. So
what does your curriculum look like?
The curriculum first starts off with safety. That's our number one priority. So we want to make sure that everybody understands what they're getting into, understands that safety is non-negotiable. So we want to make sure everybody's gloved up and safety glasses on before.
Do you guys have any emergency precautions that you guys take in case something does happen?
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to make sure that everybody's aware that we're all designated fire watch. Okay. Sparks can go up to 35 feet, so we want to make sure that anything in the surrounding area is safe from flammables or combustibles. And everybody's on watch. If something does start a fire, we need to notify somebody quick and be able to take care of it immediately. We go through where all our fire extinguishers are, the fire safety protocols, how to put out a fire. That's the main concern with welding is fire.
Yeah, because I've gone down there a few times and I see the sparks flying all over the place, and I always wonder, how do people do this kind of stuff? It seems super scary.
You get used to it. Burns are a part of the job. It's not a if you get burned, it's a when. So it's unfortunately it's just one of the things that happens on a regular basis. Usually burns are for the most part very minor, and sometimes they can be a major. So we'll address those when those come.
So what other parts of the curriculum were there that you're going to list?
So we start off with the safety, and then we go into, right now we're working on oxyacetylene welding. So that's the earliest form of welding. So it's using a torch with oxygen and acetylene to melt the base metal and work the puddle together to bond the two pieces of metal. And then once we get the idea of manipulating that molten puddle of metal, then we move on to the different processes. We're working on intro to arc welding next.
Do you guys have any other future plans that you're able to talk about?
At this point right now, it's a new program, so we're building it up. Right now, I really just want to get our kids certified to an AWS standard so that they can apply to just about anywhere they want to go and get in the door with that program.
What kind of process was it like to start, I guess, developing the new program?
Boy, that was a long process. I've been working with the Tech Council for about 10 years. We know there's a need. There's 45,000 open jobs right now for welders, and that grows by about 2% every year.
Wow. So it's an ever-growing field.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's a lot more people retiring out than are getting in. So we've been wanting to build this program for a long time. I was fortunate enough to help out on the development of the program, and now we got approval from the state, and in the last 2 years we were able to put together this really great program. All the state-of-the-art equipment in that shop. So and now I'm just thrilled to be able to teach it myself.
Well, that's awesome. Do you have any other things you'd like to talk about?
No, I appreciate you taking the time and opening people's eyes to the great world of welding.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It's great to have you.
All right. Thank you, Kaleb.
I am here with Clay Lane, one of the instructors of the commercial truck driving program on field. So what exactly are you guys doing today?
Well, we're actually picking up meals to deliver to those who are less fortunate. This is a program put on by Solidarity Harvest. It's pretty much backed by the main AFL-CIO and some other interested parties. And we're taking a load up to Millinocket to deliver to some families up there who are in need.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Where do these things for the meals come from?
Farmers in the area and producers work with main AFL-CIO and Solidarity Harvest to provide them for free or for a reduced amount so that they can help those in need.
So where exactly are these meals going to be going?
These ones in particular are going up to Millinocket. We also brought a load up to Princeton yesterday.
How are you and your students going to be involved?
We handle the logistics of it, the transportation of it. So we actually picked up a lot of the potatoes up in Caribou and Mars Hill. We also picked up a load of vegetables up in Chester, Maine. Brought them here. Then these people with volunteers organized them all into meals. And these boxes that we're loading up are the product of that work.
So is there like ingredients for meals in the boxes, or is it like the full meals in the boxes?
It's actually the ingredients to prepare the meals. So instead of giving them mashed potatoes, you get a bag of potatoes. Instead of giving a pie, you get apples and crust.
So that's pretty cool that you guys are doing this thing to help out the community. Do you guys do community projects like this often?
We don't get a lot of opportunities. When we do, we jump on them.
Well, that's great. Have you guys done any other community activities like this year?
This is our first.
All right. Do you have anything else planned for the future?
We're always looking for opportunities to get the students driving, and when it's an opportunity to do community service, it's just a win-win for everybody.
Thank you for being on the show, Mr. Lane.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm here with Haylee Newman, who is one of the students of the new welding program. Welcome to the show, Haylee.
Well, hi.
So, why exactly did you choose to take the program?
Because in middle school, I was watching TikTok videos of welding, and I really intrigued my interest. And I was like fully determined to pursue welding as a career.
That's pretty interesting. What exactly about welding kind of made you interested in it?
That you can really make whatever you want out of metal and just do whatever.
Have you had any former experience with working with metals or welding, or is this your first time kind of getting into it?
Last year I took the metals manufacturing program, and there was a little bit of welding involved, but after taking that, I wanted to really pursue welding. So that's why I took the welding class this year.
What kind of work have you guys done in the program so far?
We've had a little plate, and we just took the torque because we're starting with gas welding because we don't have power right now, like enough power to get running. So we've just been practicing with forming a puddle and carrying it along the plate. And we've started using filler wire, and we actually made just recently a ball out of just triangles and filling it with all kinds of different stuff.
What kind of other stuff do you guys are you learning about like right now?
Right now we're going through like welder safety. We did a little bit in the beginning, but now we're actually on a computer now, going through the textbook and going through all the safety procedures.
So what kind of safety procedures are there?
Your proper PPE, which is just welding, your welding coat, your hood, safety glasses, gloves, all of it. And then just really getting into the MIG welder and understanding everything on it and how to set it up.
From what I've seen, there's a lot of like sparks flying around, and
yes, you can get burned very easily. And we had Main Oxy here, and he was going over like all kinds of safety and all kinds of stories. Like somebody lost a finger because they weren't being very safe with what they were doing.
So it's pretty serious.
Mm-hmm.
So do you plan on going into welding after you graduate?
I do. I plan on going to Bath Ironworks.
Are you guys going to be getting any certifications out of the class?
Yes, we are. Mr. Scholten plans on us getting all kinds of certificates in like OSHA 10, but we are doing OSHA 10 in person instead of on the computer because it's a lot more easier.
We did OSHA 10 in multimedia, but we did it online. How does that kind of differ?
We're going to be doing OSHA in person, so it would take a few days to do that with somebody. And it's just a lot more beneficial because you're hands-on, not hands-on, but you're in person.
Because when we did it, it took us a couple weeks of doing it a couple hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was only like two to three classes a day or a week. So several classes. It takes a long time. And we did it almost barely in time because I think we only had two people in my class last year. And we got it done on the last day that we could have done it. Yeah. So it really came down to the wire on there. So do you plan on going to any colleges?
If I would probably go to Eastern Maine Community College. But my priority is Bath. And then if not, I would go to Chimbro.
Are there any colleges around here that have like metals work or welding work?
Eastern Maine does. That's the only one that I can remember that has it off the top of my head.
All right. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to talk about? All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.